Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. Here are your hosts, Scott Bear and Jeremiah Johnson.
Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Jeremiah.
And we are back for the, penultimate episode of the podcast before our 10-year anniversary episode next weekend.
That is right, yeah. And we are sorry we missed an episode. I was under the weather but we can pretty much only record a couple days a week now with the season upon us between work and the shitty weather and all that kind of stuff. And I've got a bit of a shoulder issue I have to still get checked out. And was unable to bring this to the show last time, bring myself to the show last time. But we're doing it this time, which now means our 10th anniversary episode will be 392.
You know what? Technically, this is our 10th anniversary episode because our first episode we threw away.
Yeah. Episode 0 was from the couch with shitty equipment and
this is the anniversary of the episode no one has heard.
Yes, exactly. Which
doesn't may or may not exist. Do we even have it?
Probably. I don't think I mean, maybe not. That could have been one of those where we just literally
I don't even know if we have it. Yeah, it was bad. You have to learn how to swim before you can fish.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Not true at all. This is you just in the water beating fish up. This is fishing, right? That's why I need to learn to swim so I can fight them in their own territory. They're slower here.
Not even a fair fight.
They're slower here.
No, cheating not. If you're on land and they're in the water. That's cheating.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you want a fair fight by going into a place that you can't breathe natively.
Yeah, maybe swim. They'll take me out. It's a fair fight.
See, we're catching so many. I'm just trying to bring it to their table. Also, it proves that you're like an alpha. If you can take them down in their home on their home field advantage, come on, man, you got this. You got this. I mean, he's out there punching fish again. Yeah, let him do it. Tucker himself out.
I'd love to say we're doing something special for our 10-year anniversary next week, but
you just informed me last week. I always think of April as being it, but it wasn't that. It was literally
no, because a couple episodes in was our first Good Drunken episode, which was St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, that's right. And I remember but I also I look back. I'm like, no, it was February. I think the reason I'm thinking of April is because I think I always put us as being hey, we started before cereal was a thing, and I think cereal may have been April of that year. We literally
just barely beat them,
because everybody was oh, we listen to podcasts. Remember, prior to that,
we even did a cereal fake episode. Yeah, fake little things. We used to do a lot more creative stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I said something all sad, we used to do more.
Yeah, and I actually was thinking because
we used to have guests. We used to have a rule. We had to have one guest every month.
Every month. Yeah, and now we're maybe we'll get one this Halloween.
We nailed it, and then it just became so much fucking work.
Well, it's even more work now we're competing against the Conan O'Briens and the Smartlesses of the world. People...
I've asked people to be on, too, and we're just not getting what we used to. We used to have people literally write us and be can we be on your show?
Yep.
And now it's you want to be on our show?
And even with it, and I'm just why put in, we're not getting paid for it, and those were great to build up more listeners and stuff. You know what? We got the listeners we got, and we love you guys, and it's great. And you like our fresh brand of weird little stuff and these nuggets of news that slip through the cracks and making up new content sometimes. And I was thinking about the fact that we're hitting up on 400, which happens to be after, so we could it would be a 400/10th year anniversary special coming up, because I started brainstorming, nothing major, but we were talking about doing at least a couple of pre-recorded segments, maybe bring a couple of pieces from the vault. We used to do, we used to pull old
our show's
episodes
been on the air for more than 10 years.
Hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. According to that. So maybe we pull but instead of pulling an entire episode from the vault, which takes a lot of work to dig that episode up, all 45 minutes to 50 minutes of it. So instead of doing that, maybe we can just pull up small segments from the past.
Revisit some things that hit.
Maybe a few little things.
I can do a few. I did a few of my own back then. I can do a few of my own now.
Yeah. You mean you dug up past bits of the episodes? It's because we're definitely just continue pretending that this is a real thing that happened. I like keeping these charades alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Poorly.
Yeah. Sure, I killed all my hamsters and dogs growing up. I might as well keep this charade alive. Mommy, I kept the charade alive.
You're petting the charade too hard. You're going to kill it.
Oh, I Lennied it.
we have an anniversary coming up, and like I said, I don't think we have anything really planned. I don't know. Let's see how the week goes. Maybe we'll figure something out.
Yeah, well, again, I wouldn't sweat it. I wouldn't sweat it. I wouldn't even sweat it like so much like for the next one, because we can just say, hey, because it's really we're the 10th year, no matter what. So that exact weekend, I don't think matters as much. We can roll that in as episode 400. That gives us 8 more episodes.
I might go back and listen to episode 1, and maybe we could just report on those stories all over again.
Oh yeah,
just do the same show notes as episode 1.
Let's make a fake
for the 10th anniversary.
Let's dig up episode 0. Not make it from scratch. Make it really ridiculous one where we sound ridiculous. Let's really dig up pre-episode.
So we're gonna buy a 5th for each of us.
Yep. The old days.
I'll be sleeping here that night.
Yep. Yeah. But that shit used to happen. Actually, you just used to live within walking distance of your house. You live within walking distance of your own house.
Yes, at one point in time, I did in fact live within walking distance of my house.
I'm glad I caught that myself, but also it's comically.
I think most people live within walking distance of their home.
Of my house is of course what I meant, but I'm glad I got it.
It's within walking distance of my home.
Yeah, it's a pretty good commute to home. Anyway,
you have a good commute for work.
Oh yeah. Our commutes for work are pretty great. We'll make some sausage between now and episode 400. Maybe even do a little prep work and see if we can give a little nibble nugget of it for the 10th anniversary snippet preview, and then 10th anniversary / episode 400. We do something.
I'm definitely going back and listening to the first episode again, and maybe
cringe, man. I bet it's cringe.
It was just worse recording quality.
For sure, yeah.
And directionless. We didn't have web droppings, obviously.
Yeah, we hadn't even figured our show out yet.
But I think we were still doing weird news.
We were doing weird news stories, for sure. Yeah. The first one, I think we were just like ranted about random stuff and found stuff as like the episode 0. Anyway, I'll take a look for episode 0 too, because that could be a fun little one just for us to listen to and see if it's worth like just jokingly putting snippets out.
Throw it to me and maybe I'll just do like some fun editing with it.
Yeah. If I can find it,
turn it into something different, update it, cut out words like, yeah, Obama's doing a great job, but didn't say like Biden, cut Biden in.
Yeah. Biden is doing.
maybe have some editing fun with it or something.
Well, I'll see if I still have it. I think the issue with that
make it later,
and really maybe that'll push me toward actually consolidating, because I have that on 3 different hard drives. Like I would move I need to make room for this, and I put that. So but at some point I got to consolidate all of our episodes on one hard drive, which I came close once.
You do have all the audio offline.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yes, no matter what we've got, and I have cloud backups of everything. So it's because I at one point I dropped everything to Dropbox, and now since then I back up my hard drive to the cloud. So I've got pretty much we will never lose these precious shows. Even if my house burns down, which luckily I won't be there because I don't live within walking distance of my house. Anyway, we got a lost in thought, Scott. Sometimes you come to the table with your little nuggets of usually edible-induced funniness that your wife maybe did or didn't care too much when you were...
I got a groan for this first one.
Okay, cool.
So Mike Flanagan, the horror writer, producer, director
some
on
amazing
Netflix.
Guy.
Yep. We finished Fall of the House of Usher.
Yep.
First of all, highly recommend. One of his best things he's ever done. I have
literally
Mass.
seen like none of his shows, which is crazy because like I love his movies. I love all
Midnight
of
Mass,
movies.
Fall of the House of Usher, both A++ horror.
In fact, I don't think I've seen anything he's done on Netflix.
So we moved on to The Midnight Club, which is a 100% ripoff of the old show. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah,
rip off that.
Yeah, it looks like a family-friendly thing.
But the big twist of it all is it takes place at a hospice for teenagers.
Okay,
and we're watching it. And I look over at my wife at one point, and I go, sucks there won't be another season of the show. She's like, why? I'm like, these kids are all going to be dead. And she's like, they're acting, they're playing dead. I'm like, well, representation matters. And if we're going to have, like, people who are actually disabled in disabled roles, and people actually are black in black roles,
then how are we...
These kids had better fucking be dead before the next season comes out, or I'm taken out of this.
Yeah.
Like, are these kids all being that ableist where they're alive today?
Hey, look at that guy on that movie. He's never murdered anybody. What the fuck is he doing playing a murderer?
Like, these kids are all playing dying kids. If they didn't cast dying kids in these roles, I'm pretty fucking not cool with this.
Yeah, because you know how many dying kids, probably their last wish is I want to be in a Netflix show, and you guys are just like, no thanks.
Make-A-Wish the series.
Fucking Finn Wolfhard needs another fucking role, even though he's got a mustache. He's 90.
There's some kid with good acting chat with, like, cancer right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, I could be in that show.
They're like, no, you literally can't leave this fucking hospital. But,
or you'll die from, like, from a stiff breeze will kill you.
Oh, and what's the name of this movie? It's called Stiff Breeze, the musical. Requires a lot of dancing, a lot of physical activity, and stiff breezes all day. Oh, sorry, Timmy. No, you put Timmy in this movie right now.
No, I was thinking, like, if representation matters, these kids should all really be dying.
Yep, they should be dead.
No, we got a writer's strike halfway through the season. Fuck!
No!
Fuck! None of these kids are gonna make it through a writer's strike! What'd you say? Nothing, Timmy. You're gonna make it through the writer's strike fine.
You're just fine, Timmy.
Go to your happy place, Timmy.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get back in my bubble now. No stiff wins for you, Timmy. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of stiff wins on that
writer's strike area. We lost the entire cast of the show. They all died because it took too long.
Yeah, and this one, it was windy one day, and that stiff wind took Timmy right the fuck out. I've never heard of cancer that is only triggered by stiff winds, but god damn it if he didn't have it.
If they want people who are not... It's a very ableist show.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of able people playing not-able roles.
Yeah, well, cool. Well, hopefully they're dead.
After, like, 1 year, they all tragically die from different mishaps, like car accidents, falling off cliffs, taking selfies, the average stuff, getting sucked out of Delta Airlines, or whatever that plane was.
Yeah, it was a Boeing of some kind. I can't remember.
It's Boeing. That's the one with missing.
Yeah, but it was part of an airline. I don't know. That's just the manufacturer that's
getting
under.
To fly now.
I don't know if can't remember if it was
it's
Delta
not because
or not.
Of that
I don't think it was
either.
Delta.
It's every flight this week.
Yeah. Well, that's good, because the problem is people are like, well, it's this airline, that. Like, no, it's the fucking jets. And all these companies they buy the fucking same, like, Boeing's like one of the only manufacturers of these jets. You gotta fucking buy them.
Yeah, they had people literally tell the staff of the plane, like the I don't know, the wait staff, I don't know what they call them, stewards, that the bolts weren't on a wing on one flight.
Yep.
And they had to get off. And then another flight they took off, and just as it took off, the front landing gear fell off.
Here's the thing.
I'm just like, what is going on?
It shouldn't be up to us to be like, let's do a quick inspection.
There's no bolts on the plane.
I guess we missed that in the inspection. Stop doing air quotes around inspection, steward. Why are we doing the inspections? It's kind of terrifying right now, and I've got to fly. I mean, I've never been afraid of flying ever in my life.
Yeah, it's
starting to get scary. And the only thing I can hope is that maybe, like, with enough outcry, the people who were fucking bought by these companies will finally have to be like, hey, listen, you can't buy us enough anymore because there's actually enough public outcry to where it impacts me if I don't do something. So now I can actually finally be unbought.
That's the thing, though, is a Boeing flight goes down, kills 200 Americans. It's going to be a big boo-hoo fest for those people.
Yep.
The company's not going to change shit because they still have no incentive to change anything.
Because that's what I mean. It's up to it's up to the regulators to change something. It's not going to be up to them. So what I'm hoping is
like, well, we still made $1 billion this year. We don't fucking care.
No, that's what I'm saying. It has to be up to the regulators to say it doesn't matter that you've bought us over the years. We now can't accept your payoffs because now the public outcry is so much that your money doesn't mean anything if I can't get reelected. Because now everybody's going to be yelling at us. Why won't you fucking do something? There's been crazy exposés about
this fall. He's going to deregulate even more services. So get ready for more shoddy planes.
Yep. I mean, and the issue is there was actually a really good real investigative journalism that was done tracing the money back all the decades to from essentially the members of Congress putting pressure on regulators from the people who were taking money from Boeing and these other large companies, Spirit and these other ones that like actually manufactured the parts. And of course, it's like they're trying to say, hey, constituents in my district who actually make these parts because of this has been suspended. Now they can't make parts. They're out of like their work. Their jobs are they've been laid off for the time being until blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, of course, that puts enough pressure on the Congress people who then put that pressure on the regulators who say, listen, go ahead and just let these fucking things take off because this is really causing a headache. Hopefully now that turns around and the headache comes from the constituents who say, why the fuck can't we just maybe have doors not fly off planes? Now, will that happen? It's up to the American people to actually put some pressure on the regulators and look at the fucking thing on the list of people taking money because it's equal Democrats and Republicans. Like these are people who took money from Boeing and these companies and continue to and just be like, hey, cunt, fucking, what's up with these fucking planes? So yep, and they'll just whatever. So anyway, who knows? Probably nothing will happen because this is
nothing. I'm just scared to fly now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, well, I'm just walking everywhere. Yeah, just like I'll
walk to Cancun.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say I've got Norfolk.
The border crisis. It's a one-way thing, right? The border crisis isn't the other way. Like I can walk to Mexico, right?
When I come back, I don't got to do the razor wire, do I? I don't want to climb the razor. I got to pack differently if I got to go over the razor wire. Come back. I don't know. Yeah, you're white enough. You're very white. You could definitely come right back across the border. You don't have to worry about that. Anyway, so that's some good Lawson thoughts. You have another one here. Was that something you were going to mention? Cat to dog ratio?
Did I have that?
Yeah. How lost in thought were you, buddy? That's you. Okay. That was clearly an edible. It doesn't make sense to me. But I was like, well, none of them do, so this is just a good one. Okay, we're going to move on to web droppings.
I'm going to circle back if I remember, and it's going to be random in the middle of the show. I thought you added that.
No, I didn't add that. Web droppings, here we go. Web droppings 2.0 or 3.0 2024. Web droppings, yeah. 2024. B-boys. No rapping. I rap about no rapping. Rap about no snapping. Want to snap my fingers. Yo, stop me from crapping. 2024 web droppings be happening. Eric. All right. That's their new theme song for web dropping.
For now.
Yeah.
We'll see if next week's tops it.
Oh, I have already killed that one in the crib. There we go.
All right. Well, I brought the first one to the table.
Sure.
Don't eat fried toothpicks.
Yeah.
And this took us a little bit of work to actually wrap our heads around.
We did some sleuthing on this one.
We had to because it makes no sense at first.
We actually read the article.
Well, I'm like, no shit, you don't deep fry a toothpick and eat it. Like, it hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts going down.
Yeah, of course you don't. Don't eat toothpicks.
Eat them lengthwise, not sideways.
Also, that makes it sound like you just eat regular toothpicks, just don't fry them.
Don't fry. Yeah. Frying is the key part.
It's the one that's gonna kill you. It's the cholesterol that kills you.
You gotta put them down like a sword, like your sword swallow. You gotta go straight. If you put them in sideways, like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
We've all seen Return of the Jedi. Yeah. When Luke sticks that bone in the Rancor's mouth.
That's right.
That's when you put one in your throat sideways. You Rancor it.
Yeah, you don't rancor your toothpicks. You know the old saying. Yeah, Grandma used to always say, "Don't rancor those toothpicks."
You deep throat them like a dick. You don't eat them like a Rancor.
Yep. Grandma was a fucking dirty whore. Also, loved Star Wars. Fucking
she loved it. Fucking, and she loved Star Wars.
She used to fucking suck George Lucas's dick, sucked the other guy, Harrison Ford. Yeah, exactly. Fucking, got gaped by a Rancor. Grandma was a fucking trooper till the end.
Yeah, the title alone confused us. We were like, wait, fried or not fried, they're going to hurt you. It's not actually wooden toothpicks. It's a process where you make fake toothpicks out of starch and, what was it, flour?
Yeah, it's cornstarch and something else. But either way, like it's a hardened cornstarch that makes them into a rigid material. So I'm guessing it's because it's more biodegradable.
And they curl when they fry. And I think there's food coloring involved because they're green.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently they're tasty, but what the problem is...
It's cornstarch. It's like a fried... Like you can fry stuff. It tastes like fried.
All fried Korean food is fried in cornstarch, not flour.
Yeah, and it tastes fried.
Korean fried toothpick.
Yeah, and it's pretty much like just eating fried. Like you're just eating just the fried...
Just the breading.
Yeah, the bread, which is probably fucking fine.
Like back in the day when Kentucky Fried Chicken first came out with popcorn chicken.
Yes.
It was just the fat in the bread.
Yes.
And there was no meat in that thing. It was just clumps of breading. There once in a while you got the juicy one. Mm-hmm. It was the part of the fat they cut off like the side of a chicken breast that they breaded and fried.
Yep.
And that was like gold. You're like, oh my God. It's like it drips down your chin.
It was just all breading. It was just like, oops, all breading, KFC.
It really was.
Honestly, they could get away with that. It was oops, all skin. Like if they could make a chicken that's nothing but
skin, bread, and fat. And that was it. There was no chicken meat. KFC, if you were there back in, I think, the late 90s when the popcorn chicken came out, it tasted like crack.
Yeah.
It was so fucking good.
It reminds me.
It was like $1 for a fucking popcorn box.
Reminds me, of the Futurama episode where they eat the little baby
poplars.
Yeah, the poplars. Yeah, they very much like were that addicted. Like, oh my God,
they were addictive. Yeah, I used to go to KFC and just get one little $1 tub of them.
Yep.
Eat them, and it was like 2,000 calories.
Yeah,
it was all the calories I needed in a day for $1.
Yeah. Unfortunately, barely enough to sustain.
And I got no protein, no vegetable, barely a carbohydrate.
Yeah. All the cholesterol in the world. Nothing but oil and fucking bread.
So I did dig up this foreign news article, and within it says the toothpicks, though taste... Okay, you're going to have to bear with this English because this is a translated article. The toothpicks, though taste good, according to many, they contain harmful compounds such as sorbitol and alum. Sorbitol is a type of sugar alcohol, and alum is found in baking powder.
Yeah.
These components can cause diarrhea, vomiting, and inflammation of eating in excessive amounts.
Yeah, it's the excessive amount part of it where it's like, okay, this stuff is going to be
fine.
Yeah, and honestly, probably even, and again, these green toothpicks are meant to be like not fully ingested and eaten, but like they go in your mouth. It's not going to be poisonous, but they're like, oh, this little bit, you pick your teeth, you get a little bit in, and you're fine. But when you're eating them like fucking KFC 1990s popcorn chicken, you're going to suddenly, just like anything that you're not supposed to eat that much of, you're going to get sick.
Yep, so go ahead, make these, do your TikTok challenge, eat 1 or 2 for the video camera, and then just throw the rest in the trash. It'll make you fucking sick. I mean, unless diarrhea is your jam.
Yeah, diarrhea.
Some people like their intestinal tract to be a slip and slide for everything they eat.
I don't know who does, but if it's your thing.
Hey, look, that's my lunch, and it looks undigested. I didn't know a whole taquito could come out my asshole. It's like I didn't even chew it.
I got a surgery, so when I poop, it makes a slide whistle sound. Look at, what do you think gonna come out? It's like a fucking people gambling on what's gonna come out. Yeah, it's gonna come out the same way I ate it. It's gonna have turned around my belly. What do you think?
It's a self-induced enema.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about some enemas. I'm glad they mentioned mukbang videos, which always sound more dirty than they are. But
mukbang,
which is, I'm sure people out there know mukbang enough. It's been around long enough. But that trend of excessive eating videos anyway, on the internets. Which you can get down a weird rabbit hole when you start looking at like some mukbang
South
stuff.
Koreans love watching people just eat copious amounts of food on camera.
This is like gorgeous, and it's for me it's disgusting because it's like also the sounds of like, I don't have a problem with the sounds of people eating generally, but like this is like slimy foods and it's huge amounts
ASMR.
And it's ASMR essentially too. So it's like they're supposed to be picked, like there's no and also just seeing people eat that much food makes me feel sick to my stomach. It's like an empath thing or something where I'm like I could feel you getting full and it makes me uncomfortable. So anyway, just don't eat fried toothpicks. I would say Doritos, I could see them, or Frito-Lay catching up on this trend and like really dusting these things with some good like Cool Ranch or something.
Frito-Lay, you mean we don't need the chip?
Yeah.
You just get a bag of solid powder wafers of the flavor.
Yeah, exactly. You know how much money we could save if it's chips without the chips?
It's the flavor from like a scorching hot Doritos mixed with cornstarch and the other baking soda or whatever. Yeah. To make wafers that are shaped like tortilla chips. And you just get a bag of the powder held together by cornstarch.
Yeah, oh my God.
You literally start shitting water as you're eating it.
Your body's just evacuating everything it's ever thought of.
Eat them on the toilet.
Yeah. Well, my body just suicided itself. Yep. Stomach's gone. Well, there go the intestines. It's gonna be a fun slip and slide. We are as humans one tube. I picture
we're a fancy bunch of stuff surrounding a tube.
A tube that goes from up to down. That's my fancy medical take.
A worm is just a worm. It's like it's got a tube, but it doesn't have the fancy stuff.
Like
it doesn't have arms, dicks.
Take that, worms,
hair. Yeah. Doesn't have the fun stuff, the fancy stuff.
It's just an intestine with like a little bit of skin.
A worm is the same as us without the fancy stuff.
Yeah. I like your take. You know what? It's science now.
I think I should have homeschooled. Not myself. My kids.
Oh man. Moving on to the world of religion, I guess, not medicine, religion. Anyway, shamans.
It's religion without the fancy stuff.
Yeah, it's
shamanism.
Which is pretty much like an intestine.
No.
No.
Yeah. I was going for an analogy. I failed.
You're just trying to make everything into intestines?
Not my analogy went down like a Boeing.
Well, in Bangkok, a 35-year-old professed shaman has confessed. I love that. You can't even be a card-carrying shaman. Like, I failed shaman school.
Confessed.
Yeah.
I admit it. Yeah. I'm a shaman.
Yeah. Sorry.
You got me. Was it the beard and the beads and the bead curtain and the bead shorts?
And my big shorts that say shaman on the back, on the butt, like juicy, but it says shaman. And I just have a shirt that says I'm a shaman. Ask me about my shaman.
If you did the beads right, like beard beads, door beads, car seat beads, you can do the beads so they say stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
so they can all say shaman. They can say shaman on his beard, say shaman on his front door.
Spell stuff with
gets
beads.
in his car, says shaman on the back seat.
Yeah.
Are you a shaman? Read the beads.
Yeah. Fucking license plate says
Why don't
Shaman.
you read the beads, man?
Read the beads, man.
I don't know why the shaman's just teaching Chong now, but
Read the beads, man.
Cool.
I don't call myself a shaman. The beads do.
Yeah, man. I just follow what the beads tell me. I bought them all from a yard sale. Guy was probably a shaman.
It's a big bit of beads.
Yeah,
man.
man,
The bin was
so-
made of beads.
Mostly I just sit around in the shaman beads and I just kind of let people come up and ask me questions, usually about whether or not I'm a shaman. And I'm a confessed shaman. Anyway, but he's confessed to charges in Bangkok relating to videos of him casting spells over clients' anuses and genitals, and he promised to stop doing it. Videos were taken by staff and friends.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. I'm sorry.
Did we just see you on video casting a spell in that man's asshole? You know, man, I'm really sorry.
Sorry, man. I guess, I don't really know what shamans do,
I bought the beads.
I was like, what do shamans do? I kind of winged it, man. I just started saying stuff to people's butts, and they were like, okay, I guess they don't know what shamans do either, so they were just paying me for it, man.
I like the Chong Shaman.
Chong Shaman. Might be a show title.
I like Chong Shaman. Write it down. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so videos were taken by the staff and friends who were intended that were intended to only be shared with potential clients to inform them of the shaman services. They were not intended to be pornographic, which is the charge ultimately.
Yeah, he's doing something that's akin to, I hate to say this, a medical procedure / a religious.
It's a ritual. It's a rite.
Ritual.
Yeah.
So
and
you
these are
combine
consenting individuals who are coming up and being
He's
like,
not sticking stuff in these people. It
Nope.
sounds like he's like.
No,
he's probably just like saying some magic voodoo words around some guy's asshole.
Well, yeah, and
So
this is
how is-
exactly it.
yeah.
And it's like, the videos were there and showed the people's junks, but they're like, of him waving his hand over.
Get his asshole, demon.
Yeah, man,
You gotta
like-
get out.
Come on, I don't even know if shamans deal with demons, but fuck it, man. I hear the rumbling in your tummy, man. I don't think it was all that fucking Doritos dust you eating either, man. I think there's a demon in there.
Toothpicks.
Yeah, oh man, he's nothing but toothpicks, man.
But yeah, so he's been providing these services, to our point here, for about a decade, and most are repeat clients. So this is all consenting people.
works.
Yeah, exactly.
It works. I mean, if chiropractics, has clients that come back,
And
they're like,
come back.
I kept going
again.
back to my chiropractor until he made me worse.
Yeah, and then you're
And
like,
then I stopped.
maybe.
And now I will not go to a chiropractor ever again for the rest of my life.
I think most I know people who swear by chiropractors, so I don't have one way or the
cracked
other.
me a couple times where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that feels good, but I guess a buddy probably could have done that, lifting me on his back.
But there is a reason why, like, actual medical science, like, and professionals don't recognize chiropractic. But I mean, I know people who have sworn by it, so I imagine it works for
I
some
swear
people.
by it until I didn't.
Yeah, but I also know that empirically there's like some limitations on it now. But again, I've never had it done, so I'm not going to say one way or the other. I know people who swear by it, and honestly, if it's worked for you, fuck it. It's your body. Go and spend money, and you're not getting
I'm just
conned.
gonna lay on you and press your hip.
Yeah, man.
When it pops, don't be afraid, man.
Oh, I
The popping's just the demons leaving your asshole.
Yeah, man.
Well, did you know I'm a shaman?
Did you read the beads when you came in?
Hopefully you read the beads, because the beads say read the beads, which is crazy, because in order to be reading the beads, you've already read the beads. So like,
It's also like the disclaimer to come in here.
Yeah.
Like that's our malpractice disclaimer.
yeah, it's also like legal.
You gotta read the fine beads.
Tiny
The beads get smaller as the curtain goes down, and I literally do read out a thing.
Yeah,
like this
oh,
is
yeah, like a real
everything that
legal liability.
very legal, very.
Yeah.
Well, lawyer got involved.
Oh, the lawyer got
had
involved.
to sit there for hours. Like every time there's a stiff breeze,
Yeah, there we go.
the beads move. Like I can't work with
fuck's
these
sake.
conditions.
God damn it! All right.
The beads moved. I'm giving you another hour on the clock. I'm $100 an hour. We just lost Timmy over there.
They've got a bead stenographer who's just like trying to take down all the bead fucking lingo.
You know you can read the tiny beads if you're blind too. They're like Braille.
Yeah. Actually,
Big-
they're all,
you could do like big beads, little beads, and then also
Well, yeah.
color them so you could see them visually, but then feel them and it's Braille.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I was gonna
also
say, you
they
have to-
can't move.
I like the
They
thought of
can't
I
move.
like the thought of people being like, oh yeah, because
Read
these
the
are
beads.
tactile, you'll be able to read it, but
Yeah.
it still is just colored beads, so they're just all the same. Like, no, you can't. It's all the same letter over and over again.
No, but like, oh, the colors. That's right. Oh shit, that does a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah, blind man, just rub your fingers over the red beads.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I
red
can't
beads,
feel
man.
red. But you will when I'm done with you. Let's see that asshole.
What are you? Jesus, you're colorblind, you're blind, not colorblind, man. Jesus. God, I can't even feel red. Anyway,
You're blind, not colorblind.
So the reason this happened is in Bangkok, it's illegal to put pornographic information into a computer systems which are accessible to the public. In other words, pretty much distributing any kind of pornography on a computer.
Yeah, I was going to say, so online porn is illegal?
Yeah, it seems like, apparently. I haven't dug deep into the legal side of it. My bead lawyer hasn't called me back for days to write up a bead contract. Apparently, he's got carpal tunnel syndrome. Oh, I've been beading all day. And he's been beating his wife all day. But I mean, creating beads for her. Yes, he's been beating her.
Now I just want to see someone who does all this, like shaman, hippie, like, come on, man, just read the beads. And then, like, they're also, like, a corporate shill.
Yeah.
And they have, like, one of those long beards with the beads in them.
the beads in it,
But
yeah.
it says, like, Nike.
Oh, yeah.
Or he has the swoosh.
Sponsors on his beard.
But beaded in.
Bead
So he's like a
sponsors.
wicked hippie.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, that's not cool to do that.
Yeah,
Nike wouldn't approve.
Fucking bedazzled like sponsors on his fucking jacket and shit like that. Yeah, or on his robe, I guess it would be. Yeah. Turn around and it's just fucking staples. Yeah.
It's not just a hippie that's a corporate shill.
Oh, the corporate shill hippie is actually pretty good. So Scott, while digging into this story, I was specifically like, oh, this could be a springboard, because originally it's like there's not a whole lot of stuff to chew on, although we just had a hell of a lot of fun with it. I specifically was like, oh, let me look for other odd rituals. There's got to be other rituals, maybe even like more like religious rituals that involve the genitals. And I put podcast research right after it because it was definitely on my work computer. I was searching for it, and I definitely searched weird rituals with genitals. And I'm like, I know I've got stuff being saved in autocomplete or whatever. I just have to be giving like a depth. So I'm like, let me
I'll
put
tell you your
podcast
virus report on Monday. Be like, whoa, where did you go?
Yeah, exactly what happened here. But I did go down a rabbit hole because while I didn't find anything specific to that, I did come across a story somehow we missed from November 2023, not that long ago. Although I guess we were looking for, we were kind of between October and we were between Halloween and Christmas land. So I think we were kind of like steering our themes a little bit more.
I still think this story would have made it in because we always edge Halloween as far out of Halloween
and
as we can.
This one actually kind of has a little
and
feel.
it has a Halloween feel.
Yeah, and this one has, because this has to do with ritual sex and bats.
Yeah,
and
ritualistic sex with bats.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So it's not exactly
They're just
related.
a big fuzzy condom if you get it on right. The bat doesn't like it.
Yeah.
But
It's my little fleshlight bat. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's fucking horrible.
I'm
Anyway.
gonna echolocate your pussy, honey. Well, I'm not. It's screaming. I think is doing it.
I think either that or it's getting raped by me. Which one is it, little boy? Come on, boy. What is it? Do you smell pussy or are you being raped? I'm gonna take that as pussy. Get that fucking thing away from me. Oh, my wife died from pussies and the raby pussies. Oh my God. Poor lady
It's just
got
a bat
rabies.
that looks like it's coming out of you with its wings desperately flapping.
Oh, she got rabies, pussy. All right, we go put her down. Take the bat, though. Anyway, so surveillance cameras in St. Matthias Church in the Netherlands captured footage of serotine bats mating. Scientists were puzzled by the mating process of bats due to their anatomy. The male's erect penis is significantly larger than the female's vagina.
Tell me about
remember,
it.
these are mammals.
I live this problem every fucking
Yeah,
day.
man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. This could have been part of the Big Pecker Animal Crew. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
I'll go out on that song. Can you add that to the notes while I'm covering this?
Sure.
Go out on Big Pecker Animal Crew.
Sure. That's a great one.
I forgot all about that song.
You gotta edit in bat.
Yeah. I'm Bat, Big Pecker, boy. Anyway, so two theories were considered. Either the penis engorges inside of the vagina, or bats mate without penetration, similar to birds' cloacal kiss. Now, generally, they haven't found any mammals that predominantly mate without penetration. It's pretty much a purely mammal thing. If we're fucking, we're fucking.
Yeah.
There's a thing going in a thing, and then it's like boop, and then it's babies.
That's why I would believe the inflation thing, because like the barbed cat dick and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, there's animals have a way of like making sure the sex happens.
The corkscrew cock of the duck, right? We've learned a lot about animal cocks on this show.
Most animal sex feels like it's non-consensual, by the way.
Oh, yes, of course it is. Yeah,
like they had to develop weird dicks to make sure the species survived, because the girl animals are like, I'm not having that.
That's why, like,
That's
why, like, when there's like people are like, oh, bestiality videos. I'm like, if it's a bestiality video. As long as you're fucking a male dog, how does that feel, Sparky?
There you go. They deserve it.
Yeah, because don't leave the females alone. They're getting it from all sides. Like, leave the females alone. But if you're gonna be, if you're gonna be fucking an animal of any kind, fuck the male animal. You're good, because they've been raping all their lives. They deserve a little piece of that. All right.
You're already first here on Lost and Known podcast.
Rape male
animals if you're gonna do bestiality.
Yeah, I say just do it anyway. Even if you're not gonna do bestiality, give it a shot. Try it out. Try it out tonight.
We don't condone anything we say on this show.
The Lost at Hope podcast does not condone anything we say on the show. It is a comedy show ultimately, even though it is a comedy news show. So the breakthrough came from footage from the church that showed in a bat rehabilitation center in Ukraine, totaling 97 mating events. So the analysis revealed that they do not engage in penetrative sex, but they used their large penis to push aside the female's tail membrane and make contact with the vulva, and it lasts about an hour on average, which is fucking way to go, bats. Or some events, they've got the sting method going on, lasting nearly 13 hours. That's some tantric bat sex right there. There's been some different studies and stuff, but the thing I want to get to is the findings that challenge traditional understandings of mammalian reproduction, and they prompted discussions, a lot of pushback from experts in the field. Professor Paul Racy, a bat expert at the University of Exeter, has witnessed penetrative sex in serotine bats. So he was skeptical of the findings. Why would they want to mate without intromission, which runs the risk of wasting semen, he said. This is the guy who's never jerked off in his life. But he conceded that...
You don't want to waste semen, says man, petting jar that looks like it may be filled with semen.
Ain't wasting, gotta be used someday.
He's James Bonding that cat, but it's a jar of semen.
Jar of semen. Yeah, that's right. Don't waste it. Save it. Yeah, just like someday I'll, fuck it. But yeah, so he considered, given the recent revelations about bat sex, he had to be open-minded. He's playing this scientific card there. Professor Gareth Jones, this is where he went down a rabbit hole, so this is going to be probably just another few minutes, and then we'll get to some more. But
the rest of the show.
Yeah, the rest I think so. Yes, Professor Gareth Jones at the University of Bristol, who won an Ig Nobel Prize, getting to that later.
Yeah, did not know what that was till today.
For documenting fellatio in fruit bats in 2010, said he found the evidence convincing. And then confirming sperm in the vagina afterwards would prove successful copulation. Said the sexual behavior of bats never ceases to amaze. Males urinating into wing sacs to attract females. Males mating with torpid females. Female relatives sharing sexual partners. Fellatio, and now mating without intermission. By the way, had no idea any of this was so common. Like, all that stuff I read, I'm like, this is what bats are doing? They're just pissing in wings? These are freaks.
They're
fucking
freaks,
dude. I love it. It's like, they're like the weird gothy fucking freaks and shit. Love it. Love the fact that bats are all freaky about this.
They got weird partners and weird relationships and...
Well, and I thought it was funny too. The person who won this Ig Nobel Prize, getting to that later, for documenting fellatio. I read a little bit more about that specific study, and it was showing. And I just imagine all the guys with wives backing this study and just making it up. They're just they showed that bats when there's fellatio performed on the male from the female bat, the actual copulation itself lasts like twice as long. So they're pretty much saying, like, honey, if you want to get off, you just got to suck my dick. Like, they're pretty much saying, like, works in bats. Like, and I'm sure that's their pickup line at all the bars. It definitely works. Hey, suck my dick, I'll fuck you longer. Works with bats. And then they're just like,
I pissed in my breast pocket, want to smell?
I learned all my fucking from bats. So, one of the things...
You got a sister who's horny too?
Yeah. One of the things I actually missed in here is talking about the it's not conclusively proven that non-penetrative sex is even around in mammals or common or regular, I should say. They had at least let's see. Some females had fluid on their abdomens post-mating, suggesting males had at least attempted to deposit their sperm. It sounds like they're just pulled out. Personally, but the scientist, that's usually what happens when you try to not deposit it. You pull out and you just go boop. But the scientists, this is the part I liked about this, is the scientists now hope to swab females after mating and are building a quote-unquote bat porn box to fill couples from all angles. So they're going to have like just straight up cuts. They're gonna fucking edit this shit together, porn style, and they're still gonna have that one thing of the balls slapping the ass, that one shitty fucking that women and men alike don't like, but they still put into fucking porno movies all the time. Anyway, so my favorite part of this rabbit hole was the Ig Nobel Prize. Ig Nobel, so the Ig Nobel Prize is not a real Nobel Prize. Rather, it's an award. It's awarded to scientists whose work makes people laugh first and think later. Started in 1991. It's a rabbit hole all its own. In fact, I only went down the first 4 years, and I put a pin in it for the rest.
First 4 years, most recent 4 years.
The most recent 4 years, the last 4 years, and I'm just going to go back and read way more. So I might have an update on this with the best of the best.
You can make it a segment too, where every week you bring one Ig Nobel Prize,
one from each year. Yeah, just
and
one
that's
from
easy content.
One from each year, just as quick as this one here. So past winners from just the past few years include 2023, reanimating spiders to use as mechanical gripping tools.
We covered this on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Measuring the that's what I was hoping is that maybe some of these we had
we absolutely had the spider robots,
because there's a couple of these I'm like we may have covered a couple of these because they definitely would have made. But I also, the ones we didn't, one of the things I'm going to pay attention to, they live stream these the Ig Nobel Prizes, Ig Nobel Prizes each year. I'm going to put it on my calendar, because afterwards we can literally just have a roundup from that. We can do, because then you can look into the actual the papers and the research and find more information about it if we don't already find it. But anyway, yes. So we covered that one, measuring the impact of anchovy sex has on ocean water mixing, and explaining why scientists like to lick rocks, which I did not know was a stereotype at all. But apparently scientists like to lick rocks.
I weirdly had that in my brain. I think it's because they're not doing it sexually or anything. I think it's because literally rocks have properties, and sometimes you taste them and you can be like, you can get something new from it that you wouldn't get from touch and sight.
Sure. But just rocks. Why wouldn't you just
put it to your ear? You listen for a while. I got nothing. Yeah. You put it on the table. You look at it. It's like brown. Yeah. You. So your last. You sniff it. Rock.
Smells like a rock, yeah. So they taste it and go, also rock?
You gotta do all. Yeah, I think you gotta do all. You feel it. Is it smooth? Is it textured?
By that logic, you're saying, why aren't they licking everything? Why just rocks? Because what you're saying, that would apply to everything.
Because almost no rocks will kill you by licking them, so it's safe.
Do you know that for a fact?
Yes.
There's gonna say yes. There's gotta be some serious cadmium in some rocks.
Most rocks you can lick without dying.
I think you're right, most, yes.
I want to say, because otherwise, the world would have weird poison areas where it's hey, you don't go over there. Those lot of rocks. See those house cats dead?
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, they lick those rocks.
They have whole brownfield sites for remediation. Those usually because of pollution and stuff. But I
was gonna say, if something's radioactive, it's gonna get you regardless of licking it if you're holding it.
True. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. So there are poisonous rocks. They're just poisonous. Period. They're poisonous. Regardless,
to be near, yeah.
But I mean, there's definitely
stuff
it's
safe enough to hold.
For instance, you shouldn't.
You should lick it.
For instance, you shouldn't. You can go around. You can be around cadmium, but if you consume it, it's gonna cause you problems. So I think licking something, cadmium's a mineral, but if a rock has some cadmium in it and you lick it, it's probably not gonna kill you because you need a lot.
If you hand me a quartz crystal and a salt crystal, and I'm not a geologist, I can tell them apart by licking them.
I know. I know you're oddly really sticking up for the licking of rocks. Yeah. Tells me you might like to lick rocks, and you just are it's fucking normal. Okay, don't fucking yuck my yum, buddy.
Without giving anything away about my personal life, I'm trying to defend a hobby.
Let's say I don't know.
Just open a shoebox in a closet. They'll never take you away from me.
One lick for the road, baby. And I know I said it wasn't erotic, but I'm gonna fuck these rocks after I cunnilingus them. Anyway, so 2022, a moose crash test dummy was created. Which,
that makes sense. Cars hitting moose, yeah.
Especially we live in Vermont.
A car won't kill a moose most likely.
When I pictured
but it will kill the car.
Yes. And when I initially, because it just wipes their legs out because they're so tall and they go through the windshield.
They fall in the windshield and they get up and walk off.
And they often crash the people. But of course the reason I thought it was funny is just because I pictured all of these is me picturing the people testing it. That's what made me chuckle so much about this. I pictured them stuffing this giant moose into a seat and putting a seatbelt around it. Let's see how the moose does.
I had not had that thought.
That's the first thing.
This is a moose family.
Yeah. Moose baby's dead, but moose dad's fine. So anyway, they did a study of ritual enemas.
Bullwinkle in a car.
Yeah. Oh no, Rocky! Oh no, Rocky! She flew right through the windshield and not the way they like to fly normally. Oh, Rocky! Anyway, so there's a study of ritual enema scenes on ancient Mayan pottery, and a study on how constipation impacts the mating prospects of scorpions. I'm going to go with not well Not well at all. Can't imagine constipation really impacts sex possibly.
Can impact something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway.
I'm a dad. I'm allowed these jokes.
Of course, yeah. In 2021, they studied, is it safer to transport an airborne rhinoceros upside down? Would love to, again, just to be like, all right, bring her up, boys. Test it out. Nope.
It just freaks the fuck out.
Down to 2 white rhinos now. Why do you have to use one of only 3 white rhinos left? One of 2 white rhinos left. Anyway, did humans evolve beards to protect them from being punched in the face? And in 2020, there was proof found that this was conclusive that knives manufactured from frozen human feces are not effective tools for skinning or butchery. That one I could actually see being practical. Stuck in the woods, take a shit. Can you freeze it? Shave it down? Can you cut stuff with it? Answer is no.
I mean, didn't we already know you can't use frozen dookies as dildos? So,
yes.
I mean, if you can't use one...
But I feel like that's because they immediately thaw out.
If you can't fuck something, it's useless.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. You just throw it away, which is what we do. The reason we flush feces is you can't fuck yourself.
Actually, the knife thing is how we got the answer to this, because if you can't fuck it or use it to kill someone, it's useless.
Exactly. And now we know that shit is useless. It's the reason we flush it. Though they researched what happened. This is the one where I get a kick out of the people studying it. I just feel so bad for these poor things. Researching what happens to the shape of earthworms when vibrated at a high frequency. just be like, all right, take them up. Just blows apart. It's like, all right, take the frequency down a little bit. Fucking,
They start turning into like perfect circles or something.
That's kind of what I'm curious about. Yeah.
Because we all know,
I guess high frequencies is essentially like they're not like I was like literally be like they're vibrating quickly. Yeah, there's high enough frequencies that just pass through us. But like
you can do that outside to get worms out of the ground. You can put speakers in the ground facing down, and the vibrations will make them come up.
Yep, exactly. Well, they have nothing else to go on. They're just intestines.
Was that because the rain when it hits the ground gives a similar frequency?
Yeah, that's why they always rain in the mud puddle. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, sweet. And they come up and which, they can't fucking see and shit. They're just like, that's how they get around, man.
They just tubes without all the fancy parts.
Exactly. It happens with blind people, too. Just blind people drowning in puddles after every rain. Like, oh, no.
Worms and quadriplegics. Tubes without the fancy parts.
There's one with fancy parts. He don't have as many fancy parts as the rest of us, though. I mean, it does, but anyway. And then finally, a woman got a Chinese alligator to bellow in an airtight chamber filled with helium-enriched air. So I'm guessing it's like, yeah,
I was trying to think in my head like the high pitchiness where you'd be like, yourself as a human, you'd be like, I'm eating helium. But an alligator would be like,
yeah, exactly. So they like,
oh, you're such a fierce little alligator.
I always...
and it still eats you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
regardless of how cute it sounds.
It's so cute. Listen to, oh, fuck me.
As it's eating you. Like the cutest little sound, like a Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, or like when you play with like a tiny little dog and get a tiny little dog to like fight over a toy. Like, you're like, oh,
but it's this
tough
giant crocodile.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking
thing to eat a horse. That's like,
yeah, and I'm not sure. The thing I didn't check. I don't know how big a Chinese alligator is. I didn't actually check to see if it was one of the little guys or a big guy. But either way, it's hilarious.
No idea.
Again, the thought of a testing of
alligators are smaller than crocodiles.
But I don't know if like
alligators are bigger than caimans, but smaller than crocodiles.
Yeah, okay, but I'm not sure. Like, there's definitely going to be different sizes. Are Chinese alligators smaller?
That's literally all I know is the size difference. I almost stepped on an alligator in Louisiana once. I literally almost shit myself when I saw what I did.
Yeah.
Kelly did not know. My wife was with me. She did not know what was happening. I literally was walking. I took a step. I saw what I was about to step on, and I went, ah! And I jumped back like a foot, and she was like, she looked around like, did you get stung by a bee? No. Is there something going on? And I just pointed at the ground. There's a fucking, like, it's about the size of 2 dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I measure things in dogs.
Fuck this empirical system. Fuck
Let's
the
get in our
system.
car. That's at least 10 dogs long, and we can get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, shit. We got that fucking plane trip going up, man. That's not going to be long. It's going to be 6,400 dogs away.
We were walking from a building next to a river to a boat, and in the grassy part between the building and the water, there was just an alligator chilling in the grass.
They happen all the time. People
just sitting in the grass, and I literally almost stepped right on its fucking tail.
People talk about, like, in Florida and stuff, like, they're like, oh, we just have to take them out of our pool once a week.
I literally was like 2 inches from stepping ripping on it, and it was just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, well, and I don't know if they're like as vicious. I mean, it just seems like the crocodiles are the most vicious.
They told us that they feed them a lot there, so they're pretty docile, but they'll bite you if you fuck with them. Like, if you stepped on its tail, it'd probably whip around and bite your leg.
Yeah, and it's not going to feel very good, but it's not like...
They're not that big.
Crocodiles,
2 dogs.
Crocodiles will murder you. Like, crocodiles are from, fucking Australia. Because everything in Australia kills you. It'll kill you.
Crocodile will eat you. An alligator will bite you.
Yeah, that's why the crocodile hunter's a fucking man. Like, he come over here, probably wrestle 6-7 alligators at a time. Just mud wrestle him. You're like, look at that little guy. He's in hell now. But I can't say that about Steve Irwin. I fucking love the guy. I think he's in hell because I feel that's where real good people go. Because, like, it's so much fun there. So I want him to be in hell because that's where I'm going to go. I'd like to see you in hell, Steve Irwin. And that's the best thing I could ever say.
If we listen to what Christian conservatives say, I want to be in hell.
Oh, dude, if those are really the people going to heaven, I fuck that shit.
I would never want to hang out with those fucking assholes.
Give me fucking, like, super band with, like...
I want to go with like Rancid,
dude,
Cheap Trick, and all the good bands.
Hey, dude, I could go down there right now and just see like Hendrix fucking jamming with Bowie, fucking jamming with John Bonham on drums, dude. Fucking
According to them, Epstein went to heaven. I mean, if you follow what they like to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They're diddlers.
They're diddlers.
Yep. All the diddlers go to heaven. All diddlers go to heaven.
From Disney.
Yeah.
Pulling out another classic Disney from the vault.
Yeah. Why was it put there? You'll find out.
From the makers of Song of the South.
Yeah. Let's all kill the Jews. It's all diddlers go to heaven. I love to diddle the boys. And from the makers of Diddler on the Roof.
Hey, Timmy, what are you doing on the roof? Fuck it. And you.
Anyway, so we got time for at least another story.
If you end up on a roof, the cops won't find no proof. That's what us chimney sweeps say.
That's right.
That's what all us chimney sweeps say.
Yeah. Chim naroo now, right, the little boy. Take him down the chimney and fuck him all again. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wow, come on, Mary Poppins.
It'd be 5 years later when Disney finally settled those lawsuits.
Yeah, just a couple of dollars make the lawsuits go away. The lawsuits go away. Okay, yeah, you can do whatever you want as long as you got the money until they catch you and then you kill yourself, quote unquote, in jail. Wow, when did this movie come out?
Written by Walt Disney himself?
Like very prescient as far as what's going to definitely happen to Jeffrey Epstein, who hasn't been born yet.
Unfreeze my head when fucking kids is legal.
Come on, were we there yet? Come on now. Anyway, so that's the end of all that. That was a crazy bunch of rants, so I figured that was a good rabbit hole to get down in. We will. I will put a little pin in the Ig Nobel Prizes. We've got about 30 years worth of Ig Nobel Prizes to.
Yeah, I think I'd be okay. We don't do segments really. Nope. We do Lost in Thought, and we do web droppings. I'd be fine if we did Ig droppings.
Yep. Yeah, it's literally just once a week. I'll start it with just the Ig Nobel Prize of the week. And actually, it's essentially our Blinded Me with Science piece, because I'll be like, let me get a couple of tidbits from the actual paper or find a story from the time. Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm down with that.
All right.
I'm going to skip ahead because we don't have a whole lot of time left in this show.
Probably one more story.
Yeah, I'm going to skip to teen charged with taping fish to ATM. This is a fish taping prankster, a 17-year-old teenager. He was taping fish to ATMs and other objects in Provo, Utah. Because what do you do in Utah when you're bored? That.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Mormon country.
I was going to say, marry a bunch of women. And
marry a relative at a very young age.
Yep. Or tape. You know what? This person, lesser of two evils.
I mean, it was either this or soaking.
Yeah, that soaking's a big one. Yeah,
soaking's a big one.
Yeah, actually, we've got a good friend of the show is from Utah, our Mr. Darren Ewing.
Oh, yes.
Utah, Salt Lake City's supposed to be a fucking kicking place. They've got a great music scene, all that kind of stuff. There's some fun stuff to do there, but
I'm not going to live
the whole
anywhere
state is literally run by.
I'm not going to live and or visit anywhere full of Mormons.
Oh, I would not visit. I would certainly visit because it seems like a gorgeous place, and I do have a relative there. So I would visit. I just
don't they have no bars?
No, you can there's a cap on the I think it's like a 3.8%, 3.5% cap on alcohol content.
Wow, so it's like tap water.
It's like Coors Light. Yeah, you can drink like Coors Light, and you can drink light beers. That might be different now. Even Coors Light's like 4%. That was ages ago when I looked that up. So this is very outdated information. So that very well may change. It seems like
Coors Light, and I'm starting to finally feel drunk. I want to know if you ladies at the bar want to go soaking.
Yeah. Well, also, soak with me tonight.
I would love to as an out-of-stater. Like, I know 2 things about Mormons and Utah.
Yeah.
You are cute. And I want to soak you.
Yeah. And they're
Am
like,
I doing it right?
You're like, you know that most
You've been
of us
drinking
aren't.
non-alcoholic beer all night, sir. Our bar literally only serves non-alcoholic beer.
Which is actually getting a little too close to over the content nut. But no,
it's like
I don't know.
0.5%.
Most of, I think that might just even be local, because I know like most of Utah is Mormon. It's just run by the Mormon money.
I just want to use soaking as a pickup line if I were single
soak?
and in a bar.
You want to soak?
You soak?
You
soak? Soak?
Oh, it turns out I'm using stereotypes and nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
That'd be fucking amazing. You down to soak?
Yeah.
Say, this is my wingman. He jumps on the bed, and you and me just lay there.
Yeah.
You want to go home and lay there? Want to Netflix and lay there?
It's really like the most Netflix and chill thing. It's actually like mostly sleeping.
You and me, we put on some Netflix. I crawl inside of you like a tauntaun.
Not one of those rancors.
And Jimmy here, he jumps on the couch.
Yeah. You gotta watch the soaking. I'm gonna shrivel up. I'm gonna prune inside of you. That's right.
You're gonna keep me warm so we can get back to Echo Base. Are you a Star Wars fan? I don't know. Whatever told you that. Who told you that?
That's right. I got it from my grandma. She used to get gaped by Star Wars.
This
sucks Star Wars dick.
Huge Star Wars fan.
Bobby
She
Star
taught
Wars,
me how to swallow toothpicks the long way.
Yeah, that's right. Sideways, long way, all the ways, all the good ways. So we don't do that. I'm gonna soak it.
I don't go in your Death Star trench. I know you don't like it when I call it that. I don't know why, but you seem to get uptight when I call it the Death Star trench.
But it's sexy to me though when I call it that. It also was a big pussy. Yeah, it's a fucking cavern.
You stick it in, lay there for a minute. It's just dead silence because of the Death Star trench thing. And then you're like, I used to bullseye wall rats.
I was trying to think of
like just to sound cool. I used to bullseye wall rats.
I was trying to think of that quote. It's just not fresh in my mind.
Your pussy's the biggest womp rat I've ever seen.
Oh, now you don't like it if I call you pussy a womp rat either? Oh, I can't do nothing right? I thought we love. What the hell? Oh, man.
A Star Wars fan drunk in Utah.
Yeah, now I'm getting hard. I can't soak if I'm hard. That's fucking if I'm hard. All right. What do we got?
I don't know. He got caught. The teen who taped fish.
Oh, gotcha.
The teen taping fish to stuff. He got caught.
Yeah, because I saw this book. This came up a lot in the stores, and I kept meaning to read it because I'm like, it
he
sounds
has a
weird.
TikTok account, fish_bandit84, 52,000 followers on Instagram. His bio says in his accounts, live, laugh, tape fish on ATMs.
Okay.
Which is pretty specific. Yeah. I like this guy's narrow-mindedness of his accounts. He's like, we're doing one thing with this account. So the police charged him. The teen is facing 2 charges for property damage, which referred to juvenile justice and youth services.
Was it really that much like real damage?
He's 17, so he's not going to get in trouble. This is the time to act out.
Yeah, exactly.
Just before you turn 18.
And this is the most like slap on the wrist thing. Like this is like it's not going to follow you around. They're not going to be like, we should try him as an adult for taping fish to things.
No, just taping fish to shit. Fish juices probably shorted out an ATM or two.
Because like even
why
after
can't I kick out money? Fish juice.
Just spitting out fucking walleye.
Or your money you get out just reeks of low tide.
Like
the machine works.
Fish juice has been there
glitchy.
for like 2 days. Old fish juice. Oh my god! On your fresh, crisp Benjamin.
Yeah, this is something I learned the other day, and I think it bears teaching in case you didn't know this and the listeners didn't know this. I learned this about ATMs the other day. If you request some funds and it spits out, say, like a $20 bill. And you take your card, you walk off and leave that $20 bill. After a short period of time, it'll suck it back in.
Really?
Yep. They are made to do that so that you don't just let cash sit there, goes to someone else, you come back, you complain, it becomes a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
So it's more like you got a short amount of time to take that money.
And I know they audit those, like, so if there's an extra amount in there and then they have you on camera showing that you didn't take it, you could technically
you think you still have to go and say, oops.
If you forgot, I'm guessing, like, you could probably be like, in a couple days,
and this may not be all banks and all ATMs, but I've heard this happening to some people, and I was, like, fascinated by it. I'm like,
interesting.
I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
It does. It totally makes sense.
So that's
but also,
That's your Scott Bear ATM fact for the week.
Oh, we gonna bring one of those every week?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Ig Nobel
ATM
Prizes and ATM facts.
Next week. You don't say ATM machine. The M stands for machine.
Redundant. You
Thanks
don't have
for
to say
stopping
it.
into Scott Bear's ATM facts. See you next week.
Yep. Yeah. There's
for another withdrawal.
Yeah, canceled. The whole podcast.
That's the podcast. It's literally that long,
podcast
too.
can't even get canceled.
I pay $100 for hosting a year, $200 for this, for the domain, everything, and when all is said and done, it's a 2 fucking minute ATM fact every week.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I would actually throw that in my podcast cues because when it comes up, it'd be like, done.
All right. ATM fact of the week.
Nope. I have podcasts I listen to where I'm like, if this were longer, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I got rid of the podcast recently because every episode was 2 hours. And I'm like, I'm never going to listen to these.
I generally can't listen to anything over an hour.
If the podcast is over an hour, I don't listen to it.
Yeah, it's really tough because I have a hard time keeping up as it is. I'm like, I'm not going to carve out 2 podcasts worth for you guys, especially since I guarantee you probably talked for 2 hours. I guarantee get editors like the real ones do. I mean, like all the big ones like Smartless and Code and stuff, they have real editors who cut it out. Those
are sometimes a half hour long, and they're perfect that long.
Oh. So, yeah.
Man, our show's probably long, too. Probably perfect at a half hour.
Actually, you know what? I think we're almost exactly at an hour at this point, although we got Pig Becker Animal Crew coming up, so enjoy that and get lost.
Get lost.
You know what? I'm fucking sick of all these weak-ass human males bragging about their dicks all the time. The rest of us here in the animal kingdom are getting pretty fucking sick of it. Worst part is, y'all got puny little peckers compared to some of us out there. So quit your frontin' and let me introduce you to the Big Pecker Animal Crew.
Banana slug, ratio 1-to-1, dick as big as me, all around me jealousy at my slug size ding dong, nothing wrong. Take your eyes off my slug junk, bro, and move along. Get on with your day, nothing to see here except for the most exceptional dick the size of Tangier is clear. I can see it in your soul, the disbelief the moment I unsheath and plug it in your hole. Yeah, I'm the barnacle. The biggest dick of all. If I was 6 foot high, my dick would be 24 stories tall. You might say,
he's just an arthropod in the subphylum Crustacea.
My cock was made by God. It's long and it's stretchy, so I can lure the girls back to my boat where I can shower them with pearls. You might see me and be grossed out, and you'd have a right to be when you walk into your bedroom and I'm all up on your lady.
I'm the blue whale, dick so big that it could impale anyone that comes in contact. Big deal, it probably was foreseen. I'm the biggest motherfucking mammal you ever fucking seen. Dong is 8 foot long, slender and delicate, bigger than the tallest man, no need to challenge it. But don't take it from me, my boy Elephant will tell you just how big a dick can be. Tell him, Elephant. Oh yeah, man. Preach. Oh, they ain't gonna like that one.
No!
Oh, man, you tell it how it is, Elephant.
Oh, fuck.